Well, in a case of life imitating art, a juicy family drama of the sort made famous by TV show Succession will play out for real in an American court next week.
Australian media mogul Rupert Murdoch wants to amend his family's trust to give full control of his business empire to his son Lachlan Murdoch, stripping the three other eldest children of their share. The case starts tomorrow in Reno, Nevada. Joining me now, Professor of Law Reid Kress-Weisbord from Rutgers University in Newark. Very good morning to you, or good evening to you. What is this trust that the Murdoch family has, and why do they have it?
So this is a trust that establishes an estate plan for Rupert Murdoch to pass down his business empire to the next generation. And it was created a couple of decades ago, back in 1999, in the wake of his divorce from his second wife, Anna. And there are two key portions of the trust that are in dispute right now. One key provision of the trust provides for an equal share of the financial benefits of the trust to be shared among his 6 children. But the trust also says that governance rights in the trust will be shared among his 4 eldest children, which means that when he dies, the 4 eldest children will have an equal say in the management of the trust property, which includes the media companies Fox News and News Corp.
Okay, are they changeable?
So the choice of whether to make a trust revocable or irrevocable in the first instance belongs to the trust settler, the person who creates a trust. And Rupert Murdoch decided to make this trust irrevocable, but there was a clause that he reserved for himself that said that he could amend the trust if the amendment was done in good faith and for the sole benefit of all of the trust beneficiaries. And it's that provision of the trust that he's invoking in this dispute.
Okay, Reid, what's the reason then? Is it just that he's fallen out with the others? Why does he want to do this?
So I think the concern that he has is that if, when he dies, all 4 of his children have an equal share in the governance of the media companies, there could be family conflict that leads to paralysis within the companies, that the strategic direction of the company might not be clear to investors, and he would rather have one person, Lachlan, I guess in this case, in charge of the media companies. And that's what he's petitioning in Nevada probate court to change in the trust instrument.
Is there a reason it's being heard in Nevada?
Yes, so Nevada is a state in the U.S. which has focused on attracting trust business, and it's become a trust haven by making trust law very appealing to donors, by creating what we call dynasty trust legislation. A trust in Nevada can last for 365 years. There are special protections for trust property against creditors, and there are special tax benefits to having a trust in Nevada. And of course, there's also the secrecy provision that is protecting this trust proceeding from media scrutiny.
Oh, okay, so it's not going to be televised then?
We wish. It won't be televised. A number of media companies have sued in order to access the trust proceedings. And the Nevada Supreme Court earlier this year actually ruled that a similar secrecy law involving family law proceedings that kept those secret was unconstitutional under the First Amendment, which these parties say implies a right of public access to civil proceedings. But it's going to take a very long time for that to wind its way through the Nevada court system. So for now, no, they won't be televised, and we're not going to have any information about what happens in these proceedings unless there's another leak.
Nothing at all. So we won't get any he said, she said, or even the decision has been made.
That's right. This week, there are going to be what they call evidentiary hearings that are taking place in a Nevada courtroom where it's quite possible that Rupert and all of his adult children may testify about what is in the best interest of the trust beneficiaries in this case. But the courtroom is entirely closed. The decision is not going to be reported. The Nevada probate commissioner made that decision last week and decided to maintain the secrecy of the trust proceedings, saying that all of the documents that were filed in this case were filed with the expectation that they would be maintained in confidentiality. So to change that decision now would be very unfair. Now, if that statute providing for confidentiality were to be ruled unconstitutional, then of course all of this information would become public.
I mean, the script is really like something from Succession, isn't it? You almost couldn't make it up. But this is your field of expertise. Are these sorts of trusts and these sorts of disputes common?
They are somewhat common, and there's often a lot of emotion because whenever there's a dispute involving a trust, it's really reflecting a family dispute. And so there are family conflicts that happen with respect to large fortunes, but they usually don't play out in public. One of the benefits of creating a trust is that it's a private document, and you can do everything possible to keep these types of disputes out of the courtroom. You can mediate them, you can arbitrate them. There are ways of keeping them entirely secret. And that, I think, is what Rupert Murdoch tried to do by selecting Nevada as his trust jurisdiction.
Professor of Law, Reed Cress Weisbord, fascinating stuff. Thank you for your time.